In 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, aiming to cripple the United States Pacific Fleet. The attack was meticulously planned and executed with precision. This audacious move marked the beginning of Japan's entry into World War II, a conflict that would engulf the entire globe. The attack was a devastating success for the Japanese, who achieved complete surprise and inflicted heavy losses on the American forces. Over 2,000 American lives were lost, and numerous ships and aircraft were destroyed. Following Pearl Harbor, the Japanese war machine swept across Southeast Asia and the Pacific, capturing vast territories and inflicting a series of humiliating defeats on the Allied powers. The Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Dutch East Indies fell in rapid succession. Japan's early victories were fueled by their highly trained military, innovative tactics, and the element of surprise. Their ability to strike swiftly and decisively left their enemies reeling. The Japanese military, particularly their navy, was a formidable force, equipped with advanced weaponry and led by skilled commanders. The early months of the war in the Pacific were a dark time for the Allies, who found themselves outmatched and outmaneuvered. However, the tide was about to turn, as the United States began to mobilize its vast industrial and military might. The Battle of Coral Sea, fought in May 1942, marked the first major clash between aircraft carriers in naval history. This battle was a pivotal moment in World War II, showcasing the strategic importance of naval aviation. This battle was significant in the Pacific War, as it marked the first time that Japan's advance had been checked. The clash demonstrated the critical role of aircraft carriers and the power of air superiority. The battle was primarily fought between Japanese and American carrier-based aircraft, with neither side's surface ships ever directly engaging each other. This marked a new era in naval combat. This new form of naval warfare highlighted the growing importance of air power in the Pacific theater. Code-breaking played a crucial role in the Allied victory at the Battle of Coral Sea. The intelligence gathered through deciphering Japanese communications provided the Allies with a strategic advantage. American codebreakers were able to decipher Japanese naval codes, giving them advance warning of the Japanese attack. This foresight was instrumental in countering the Japanese offensive. The Battle of Coral Sea was a tactical draw, with both sides suffering significant losses. However, it was a strategic victory for the Allies, as it prevented the Japanese from capturing Port Moresby in New Guinea. Just 1 month after the Battle of Coral Sea, the two navies clashed again at the Battle of Midway, a strategically vital island northwest of Hawaii. This battle was a pivotal moment that would shape the course of the Pacific War. The Japanese planned to capture Midway and use it as a base to launch further attacks on the United States. Their strategy was to lure the American fleet into a trap and destroy it. The Battle of Midway was a resounding victory for the United States Navy and a turning point in the Pacific War. This victory boosted American morale and marked the beginning of successful offensives against Japanese forces. Superior code-breaking allowed Admiral Chester Nimitz to anticipate the Japanese attack and position his forces accordingly. The intelligence gathered was crucial in outmaneuvering the Japanese fleet. The battle was fought over 4 days in June 1942 and witnessed some of the most intense fighting of the Pacific War. Both sides suffered significant losses, but the Japanese fleet was hit the hardest. American dive bombers crippled the Japanese fleet, sinking 4 aircraft carriers and a heavy cruiser. This devastating blow significantly weakened Japan's naval capabilities. The Battle of Midway marked a turning point in the Pacific War, shifting the balance of naval power in favor of the United States. This shift allowed the U.S. to take the offensive in the Pacific theater. In August 1942, U.S. Marines landed on Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands, marking the beginning of the first major Allied offensive in the Pacific. The objective was to capture the island and its strategically important airfield. The Guadalcanal campaign was a brutal 6-month struggle, characterized by fierce fighting and disease. Both sides poured reinforcements into the island, resulting in costly battles. Despite heavy losses, the U.S. ultimately prevailed, forcing the Japanese to evacuate in February 1943. The campaign demonstrated the growing strength of the United States. Section 5. Code-breaking and intelligence, the unsung heroes. Behind the scenes of the epic clashes in the Pacific, a silent war was being waged in the intelligence agencies of both sides. The Allies had an important advantage, the ability to break Japanese naval codes. This advantage proved crucial in battles like Coral Sea and Midway. The work of codebreakers played an undeniably vital role in turning the tide of the Pacific War. Section 6. The significance of air power in the Pacific Theater. The vast distances and island-hopping nature of the Pacific Theater highlighted the importance of air power. Aircraft carriers became the dominant force at sea, capable of projecting power far beyond the reach of surface fleets. Battles like Coral Sea and Midway demonstrated the decisive impact carrier-based aircraft could have. The ability to control the skies and launch devastating attacks proved crucial in securing victory. Section 7. The human cost of war casualties and sacrifices. The battles of 1942 in the Pacific came at a heavy price. Both sides suffered significant casualties, with thousands lost in the fighting. The Guadalcanal campaign was brutal and costly for both sides. The human cost extended beyond the battlefield. Section 8. Turning the tide. The Allied advance begins. The year 1942 marked a turning point in the Pacific War. Japan's advance was halted at Coral Sea and decisively at Midway. The Allied victory at Guadalcanal solidified this shift in momentum. The battles of 1942 demonstrated the growing strength of the United States and its allies. Section 9. Conclusion. The year 1942 witnessed a decisive shift in the Pacific War. Japan's initial dominance was checked, and the initiative began to shift towards the Allies. Battles like Coral Sea and Midway were significant military victories. The United States, once reeling from Pearl Harbor, had found its footing. The events of 1942 laid the groundwork for the eventual Allied triumph. Please like and subscribe for more content. This is Essential U.S. History.